Hey, Lori, welcome. Really great to have you.
Thank you, John. I'm excited to be here.
Well, so the first thing I was wondering is what is positive activity and how did you first develop this approach?
Back in 2011, when there was a recession and
Yeah.
things were tough and businesses were closing, many of our clients lost their jobs or weren't ordering anymore. And I was like, oh, this doesn't feel good. This is uneasy. This is weird. I was anxious. I was fearful. When are we going to get orders again? How are we going to pay our suppliers? I just forged ahead. And because you had to, right? You have a family, you've got kids, you've got this business, you have customers, you have orders, whatever. And all that time, I just kept reading and learning and doing. And little by little, that cage of fear and worry and doubt started to fade. So little by little. And then what happened with
Today's guest brings a powerful message about how simple mindset shifts and daily activities can unlock extraordinary growth, not just in business, but in life. Lori Rogers is the president and co founder of Rogers Marketing, a multi million dollar woman owned business built on relationships and positivity. She is also the founder of Positive Activity, a proven framework that helps individuals and teams achieve professional success and personal well being through mindset shifts and action based habits. Lori speaks widely on sales, leadership, organizational culture, and resilience, and her work offers transformative lessons for entrepreneurs and leaders navigating today's challenges. Hey, Lori, welcome. Really great to have you.
Thank you, John. I'm excited to be here for this discussion today.
Yeah. I was doing a little research on the work you do and your background, and I'm excited to talk to you about it because I think mindset is so important in entrepreneurship and in life. And I know you've got a few things to say about it. So let's get to it.
Do. I
Yeah.
did.
Well, so the first thing I was wondering is what is positive activity and how did you first develop this approach?
Well, I first developed, let me do the second question first.
Sure.
So the way it was developed was crazy. Back in 2011, when there was a recession and
Yeah.
things were tough and businesses were closing, many of our clients lost their jobs or weren't ordering anymore. We have a swag business, right? So anything you can do corporate logo on it, corporate stores, awards, appreciation programs, all that good stuff. And I was like, oh, this doesn't feel good. This is uneasy. This is weird. I was anxious. I was fearful. When are we going to get orders again? How are we going to pay our suppliers? Bop, 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 bop. Like those, that little inner critic, that little wheel kept going on and on. Now, under normal conditions, maybe had some little skills to help recover from that. But at the same time, my son, with a non speaker with autism, was transitioning out of high school into the adult world. My daughter, at that same exact time, was recovering from a sports injury that she had. She played D1 lacrosse, and she was recovering from post concussion syndrome.
Where did she play? Just out of
We
curiosity.
played at BU.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we did play at Syracuse, so it was fun to
Okay.
play there. So we, all of those things, I didn't have the skills at that time or the tools at that time to sort of regroup and just get it back together and feel better and just have a better outlook every day. I just forged ahead, forged ahead, forged
Mm,
ahead. And because you had to, right? You have a
yeah.
family, you've got kids, you've got this business, you have customers, you have orders, whatever.
Yeah.
So, given that my daughter was home, she couldn't drive, she couldn't use her phone, she couldn't watch TV, she could whatever. Mom, she said, "Will you take me to a wellness fair?" I'm like, "What the hell is a wellness fair?" But sure, let's go. And we went to this wellness fair, and I was introduced to the concepts of words, thoughts, become your beliefs, become
Yeah.
entrenched in your subconscious mind, become what the universe matches your outer world to your inner world.
Yeah.
Okay, well, like, time out. What are you talking about? And what is this? And how did I not know it?
Ah,
And so we learned, we went to presentation, I bought books. So this is in 2011, 2012, 13 years ago. And all that time, I just kept reading and learning and doing. And little by little, that cage of fear and worry and doubt started to fade and started to melt. So little by little. And then what happened with positive activity was I went to some presentations and some workshops and learned that many of the activities that I was doing or learned to do were scientifically researched to improve, like, increase your sales on average 37%, increase your productivity 31%, keep you more resilient to illness. You have better teams that want to work with you because you're higher vibration, you're lighter, you're happier, you're more
Yeah.
optimistic every day. You just, so many things. It's like, okay, whoa, this is super cool that these things are scientifically based to do all these amazing things. How can we
Mhm.
not teach it? How can I not teach this? How can I want everyone to know? So that's how the positive activity process got started. I just started going out and
Mm.
I didn't charge. I just did it for free. I just like, no, I want to go and teach people. So I would go to entrepreneur events, or I had friends that were entrepreneurs, and they would get like their teams together,
Yeah.
and I would just do it just to practice it. I'm like, I want everyone to know that you can change your reality, and this is how you can do
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
So
So who were some of your teachers or influencers, or what were you reading? What kind of conferences were you going to? Because it feels like we had similar experiences, but I'm curious as to who influenced you along the way.
I think Louise Hay influenced
Ah.
me initially
Mm-hmm.
first. Abraham Hicks.
Mm.
I read the book Think and Grow Rich, which I'm like,
Ah.
that was written in what, 1935
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah. That's
So
old.
it's been
Yeah.
around a long time.
Yeah.
So write this one down though. Sean Achor,
Mm.
Achor, has an amazing TED Talk. It's like
Yeah.
12 minutes and 53 seconds of wonderfulness. Like, and he
Yeah.
sums it up in 12 minutes. I'm like, oh my crying out
I,
loud. So I
I actually
all
assigned that
his
video
books.
to my students. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I
Yeah.
read all of his books, and did that. I'm looking at all my books now on my bookshelf. So those people, and now I Dr. Doty just wrote a book, Mind Magic. That was one.
Ah.
I just read that. So anything I can pick up, that I see something different and new, I grab it.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I loved it.
I'm halfway through
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I loved it.
Oh,
So,
so cool. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's like once you get into these philosophies, right? Which, by the way, have been around for millennia, right? They're not like
yeah.
brand new things that people are just coming up with. It's like a rehashing or a rediscovering of these principles, which is just amazing. And now, I think you alluded to it, but now the science and the research is catching up to it and can, validate it, if you will, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they'll buy in. So if I go into a corporation and I go in front of we present in front of their sales team,
Yeah.
they're more likely, I find, to like really lean in when I say, okay, I present the research first.
Right.
This is the research. These
Get
are the
that
results.
logical mind
You want to learn
going.
how to do this? Okay,
Yeah.
and it's free.
Uh-huh.
Free things that you can do in your home or your office every day, and boom, there you go.
Yeah. So what are some examples, right? So can you describe maybe a moment or a few moments where applying this positive activity and these principles made a difference in your life or the life of the people you work with?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. The first thing I do upon stepping out of bed in the morning, I have a little card on my bedside table. And it's positive statements, it's positive affirmations, because
Mm.
what happens is, and God love our brains, right? But they tend to go back to the story we were telling yesterday. So
Yeah.
it's going to go back to maybe that negative thing or that event or that worry or that fear. So I have something positive that I read to myself. And then I walk into the bathroom. I give myself a high five. So if you haven't read The High Five Habit, I love that too. That
Okay.
was written by Mel Robbins. And
Ah.
there's all this cool research around giving yourself a high five, saying something amazing and wonderful, looking at yourself in your
Mhm.
eyes, and just pumps you up and primes you for your day. So I like to
Mhm.
call it start your day before your day starts you. So this is
I
before
love
I
that.
pick up a phone, before I look at a text, before I look at an email, or God forbid, social media, right? Like, no, nothing,
Mhm.
none of that yet. Then I grab my coffee, my journal, and I write down three different things. So each day is different. Three unique things that I appreciate that happened the day before, within the last 24 hours.
Mm,
So I think about them, I feel the emotion again, and our brains don't know whether it's happening right now or it happened yesterday.
right.
So you can
Or if it even happened in physical reality, right? It could have
exactly,
just happened in our mind,
yes,
right?
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
terrific. So I
Yeah.
do that and I think about those things and then I write down a conscious recall. So just like a few sentences of something wonderful that happened yesterday. Maybe with my son, who's my non speaker, or something cool that happened with a supplier, or someone actually called me and thanked me that they got their order on time. You know, these little things that
Mhm.
brought me joy. It's a little different than the appreciation. It's just something that put a smile on my face. And
Mm.
again, your brain's like, "Oh, how fun!" Like that.
Yeah.
Your brain, no, it's just gonna, it, it's there. You're feeding it information all the time. So feed
Yeah.
it good stuff. I meditate for 5 to 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the morning, and I work out every day. And then again at night, I have that same card. Not it's a different card, but at night I tell myself something positive and amazing and wonderful about my abundance, about my business, about my family, so that I go to sleep with those thoughts in
Yeah.
the brain. So I try to attack it from all angles because
Hmm.
John, I grew up a worry wart, and everything had to be perfect. It was this, it was that, and and I want to release that. And when you're an entrepreneur, something different, something crazy, something annoying can happen every single day, right?
Oh, it's guaranteed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I needed the skills to not go down in the ditch every time something
Yeah.
not great happened. And yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're very intentional on the self-talk and the words and the thoughts that you have because you know and you've learned that they matter and they make a real difference. So yeah, that's fantastic. I think that's yeah, anybody could use that. And like you said, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. It's not a pill. It's not a guru or workshop. It's actually something you could do right now. Yeah,
Yes.
that's great.
Yes.
So you mentioned, entrepreneurship, being constant challenges, and I mean, you grew a multi-million dollar business, right? So how has mindset influenced that journey? So like, I mean, you've been at it for a while, so you must have seen a shift. So I'm just kind of interested in mindset and how it influenced your journey.
Well, it influenced me because now, if there's a challenge that comes up, or someone doesn't like their order, or it's not going to ship on time, now instead of and reaction and fighting back or
Mhm.
screaming and yelling at a supplier or whatever, I sit back and I can just say, okay, I can take a breath, I can think, and I think, all right, how is this happening for me, not to me? What is this teaching me right now? Okay, a little
Mhm.
patience, a little calmness. So when your brain is working from a higher vibration and it's more positive and optimistic,
Mhm.
ideas flow to you easier. They're always
Right.
flowing to you, but sometimes we're so gnarled up, we're not accepting them or hearing them or we
Yeah.
diss them. But when your mind is more optimistic and positive, you're hearing them and they're coming in. Oh, okay. This is so I just sit for a bit and the challenges I can address them differently now.
Mhm.
And I don't go I might come down a few notches, but usually I don't go down in the ditch too much anymore.
Mhm.
It's not that I don't feel anxious sometimes. Of course, I do.
Right.
But I'm able to work out of it and just recover from it, feel it, process it, then move on to the project and finish the project or if create what needs to happen to fix that challenge. So when in 2020 when COVID happened and that same like that like heart-wrenching fear and worry and doubt, oh my gosh, nobody's buying anything, nobody's doing anything, we
Right.
can't go see our clients anymore. And for about a week or two, like it was like, and I said, wait a minute, I've been here before. I remember this from before. And it all worked out. Everything started to flow. So what we decided to do, now I'm in partners in our swag business with my husband Neil and in positive activity as well.
Mhm.
And we said, okay, let's email every single one of our clients individually and ask them if we can have their home address because they're all home.
Mhm.
And we started sending them swag. We're here for you. If you need us, what are you going to, so what happened in that time, which was very interesting, is our clients started sending appreciation gifts to their employees that were at home. So
Mhm.
we had to rework that whole thing of finding fulfillment houses, people that would do mailing for us, or we did it in our garage, whatever we needed to do. So it helped me so much because now we could think of new ways and new ideas. And I was open to the new ideas coming in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it sounds like there is an element of resilience that you were able just to build in, right? And
Yeah.
some of the things you talked about, right? Like not like your phone right away, doing the things you're grateful for, exercising. Those are all great daily practices and daily activities. Are there others maybe that you recommend that you don't personally do, or basically what I'm looking for is daily activities that can help build resilience for entrepreneurs who need it. I mean, because there's going to be ups and downs, and that resilience is going to be key to their success.
Yes, I agree. I like to I like to explain that, and Sean Acorse calls it this too, your happiness level, right? So I
Hmm.
like to doing all of those activities in the morning, build up your happiness level, which is resilience.
Hmm.
So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Um, yes, I have more resilience now. Yes, and I think it's because of all those activities that I've been doing. But it's not only that, it's also just a frame of mind. It's
Mm.
your perspective has to change. And what I learned through the research, especially from the Happiness Advantage, is I always thought get good grades, get into that college, get the great
Right.
job, then you're going to be happy. Get the car, then you're going to be happy. Have the
Right.
relationship, then you're going to be happy. But in reality, our brains work in the opposite way,
Hmm.
which is what
Yeah.
core research and showed that no, 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 no. Be it first before you see it, right? So
Yeah.
I don't mean pretend, but I mean go to the emotion of having
Yes.
it now
Hmm.
and then see what happens. So we can,
Yeah.
even though we don't have, let's say I want that new car, I don't really have it right now,
Hmm.
but I can go to the emotion of what it's going to feel like to have it.
Hmm.
Because why do
Yeah.
we want anything? The only reason we want stuff is to make us feel better. So go to
Right.
that feeling first. We know what that can feel like.
Hmm.
Maybe it's the new job, maybe it's the new client. What is that going to feel like when I land that first sale with that new client? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Go to that feeling every day as much as you
Hmm.
can.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic there, right? Because like the example of the car, right?
Hmm.
Like, maybe you think you want the car, or maybe you need it because you need to get to work, or whatever it is, right? But like you said earlier, like achieving the thing often hardly ever makes you happy, right? But being in your happiness and finding a way to experience that attracts the things you might want or need anyway, right? So like if you're thinking you need the car in order to be happy, right? Because you need the car to get to work so you can have a job and pay your bills so you'll be happy, or whatever the logic is.
Yeah.
I wonder, and I don't wonder if you've ever experienced this, like you don't get the thing that you really wanted, even though you may have thought about it and you may have internalized the feelings of how wonderful it's going to get be to have that car, right?
Hmm.
But you don't get it. Maybe is there a larger force at work, like saying, hey, you know what? It wasn't actually the car, dummy. Like what you really want or need is something different, you know?
Yes, I love that concept. And on top of my vision board, it says this or something better.
I
Because
love that. Yep. This or
what
something better. Yeah.
what I may want that shiny new red car, but the universe says no, no, no. This over here is going to be amazing for you, and you don't even know it yet, right? So I say, I have
Hmm.
my vision board, my things that goals or my intentions of what I would like to
Hmm.
create in my life, and I say this or something better because maybe that client isn't so this happened to us actually that client may not be so great for you, maybe they're not going to
Yeah.
pay their bills on time, or maybe
Yeah.
this was gonna, so we became, I had a client, we had a client that was, we were their number one supplier for a long time. And then they went through some changes and we became their number two supplier. So of course I was like devastated and bummed and and I was like, okay, well, whatever. I'm going to work as hard as I ever did for them. Number two's fine. There's plenty there for everyone, plenty for everyone. And about 3 months later, we garnered another new client that was probably, I don't know, 20 times bigger than that one. I thought, oh, that's why that happened. I wouldn't have had the time and space, right, for this big thing if I also had that over there. And it all worked out. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
that original client got sold and another company took them over anyway. So they're like, oh, ding, ding, ding. So maybe the universe was looking out for us and looking out for me at that time. And that's what I say. It's like this or something better.
Yeah, no, that's a great motto. I love that. And I have an affirmation that when I need it, I use it. I just say, my name's John, and only good stuff happens for me.
Oh,
Like I say that to myself. You
oh,
know?
that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. So so in your experience, how can leaders balance positivity with the realities of running a demanding business, right? Like all the things we've talked about, they're realities. They happen. So how do we achieve that balance and make it happen?
I don't know if I believe in balance. I think
Ah,
some
okay.
days it's like 80-20, and some
Mm-hmm.
days it's like 60-40.
Mm-hmm.
We had this business now for 27 years. My youngest was 3 years old when we started, and I never had balance.
Mm-hmm.
Something always got left. Like the house was a mess, or you
Right.
know, that's the sink was whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or I had to leave I wanted to leave the office to go do things with my children at school or volunteer or things like that. So balancing time is one
Mm-hmm.
thing, but balancing, let's say you have employees. I think the
Mm-hmm.
greatest thing you can do for your employees is show appreciation. I read an
Mm-hmm.
article that most people leave their jobs because they don't feel appreciated. And it's
Yeah, I
really,
read that too. They don't leave jobs, they leave bosses,
yes,
right? Yeah,
yeah, they don't feel
yeah.
appreciated. So sending appreciation to your employees, we have many clients that do, um, 3 or 4 times a year, they send everyone something.
Mm-hmm.
At Christmas time or holiday time, something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's wellness fairs, something, barbecues, something. You know, they they really do make an effort to impress upon their employees how much they care about them and how much they appreciate them. I think
Mm-hmm.
appreciation is the number one thing you can do for
Yeah.
your teams. And if you enter a meeting or a Zoom
Mm-hmm.
and you're optimistic, you're calm, you're at peace, you're not gossiping, or you're not
Yeah.
being mean about something else or negative about this event, and you stay up and you're appreciating people and you're listening
Mm-hmm.
like right, two ears, one mouth. uh,
Mm-hmm.
I think teams respect you, and
Mm-hmm.
they want to emulate that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, besides the fact that you're just sending out signals of positivity and calm and receptivity and innovation, creativity, right? Those are all parts of it. So that makes me think of other mistakes that you might, or maybe mistaken beliefs or mistakes or poor practices that you see entrepreneurs or leaders make when it comes to either mindset, mind shift, growth mentality, things like that.
Right. Well, I look at things like nothing is ever a mistake to me
Mm,
or a failure, but it's a learning experience. So
mm,
hopefully, if an entrepreneur or a boss or a team leader doesn't handle something a great way, or is always and always has to be right, or is not a great listener, or doesn't take feedback well, or what have you, um, how can you learn from that? And you're aware. I mean, here's the thing: you have to be aware. You have to have
mm-hmm.
some self-awareness, right? To be
Yeah.
able to say, oh, wait a minute, I probably didn't handle that so well. Oh my gosh, there were several times just even in the last year where I reacted not the way I wanted to react to a situation. So
Yeah.
I pick up the phone and I call that supplier or call, it's never with a customer, but it's usually like a supplier or
Right. Right.
someone in our corporate office or something. I'm like, I am so sorry I reacted that way. That was
Mm.
terrible. And, but people have to have the self awareness in order to do that. And I think
Mhm.
people will respect that and care. I don't know if that answered your question, but
Mhm.
there, I think that those were learning experiences for me. And I say,
Mhm.
okay, next time I,
Yeah.
I'll sit back, I'll think about it. I won't be so reactive and, you know, approach it in a different way.
Yeah, so yeah, maybe instead of looking at it as a mistake you might make, it's a learning opportunity, right? But I think there's also an element of, just having that observer mindset, right? So yeah, I try to do this too. Like if yeah, I'm human, right? So I'm gonna lose my cool, I'm gonna get upset, but I try to just step back and observe that and say, okay, there was me being human. I gotta check myself here, right? And do some sort of practice that gets me back into coherence, and so I can move on. So yeah, I think having that observer mindset is really important.
Yes,
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah, yeah. So, what are some of your favorite things about doing this work with positivity and mindset?
Oh my gosh. So when I'm in front of a crowd, in front of a team, and getting the lean in and the listening and the writing it down and they're asking questions like that to me fills my heart. It
Mm,
jazzes me. I love it. I love teaching this. I want everyone to know about these habits that you can start doing to
mhm.
improve your life and improve that worry and fear and doubt that you may feel. um, I just love that. And we do mainly in-person things, in-person events. I mean, here and there, someone will want me to do Zoom, but that energy that you feel,
Yeah.
back and forth with an audience is
Hmm.
amazing.
Yeah,
I love
it's super cool. I know. I mean, it's similar for me, but different. I mean, I work with college students, right? So
hmm
not if they're
Yeah,
not like corporate clients or anything like that, but it's still similar.
yeah.
I just taught a course using these principles, and it was really cool because students have a hunger for this. Like they know it intuitively that
Yeah.
this is real, or it's something they can apply. It's something they need to learn about. But there's really there's no college course on it, at least in a serious business school, right?
Right.
Until now. so so
Yeah,
that was
you.
really rewarding. Yeah, no, it was super fun just to see the students really engaging with it and getting it,
Yes.
and applying it. It was just I mean, what a fun experience it was. So yeah,
Oh,
I'm with you on that. Just seeing somebody else light up and say, yeah, I can do this is
yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I also read that it takes, oh, how many days? 21. That was what it was. 21 days to have something become a habit. So
Mm-hmm.
what I like to tell people is like, okay, so you're going to sit down and meditate for a minute. Do a minute. I started doing 30 seconds. That was all I could sit and do. But just
Yeah.
remember, it takes 21 days for something to become a habit. So give yourself a
Mm-hmm.
break. Give yourself a
Yeah.
grace. And if you
Yeah.
can only do a minute, do a minute. And
Yeah. Yeah.
things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And once it becomes a habit, if you break the habit, give yourself a break, right? So I think that's part of what we're talking about is just the self-talk, right? Be gentle on yourself. Don't beat yourself up or think you're an idiot or you can't ever stick to something. Or
Right.
in an entrepreneurial context, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you don't have the best network, you can't raise money, you don't know how to sell, whatever, right? It's that mindset that is so important.
Yes.
And yeah, I love that about the work
Now,
that you
and
do.
now I think entrepreneurs are, when we started 27 years ago, there was barely the internet. I remember faxing orders in. Okay, but so now I feel like entrepreneurs have so much pressure on them. I've got to be on Facebook. I have to be on Instagram. I have to post on LinkedIn every day.
Oh
I
my
have to do this.
God.
I have to do that. I have to do an
Exhausting.
email campaign. It's like, oh, so
Yeah.
it's they're being bombarded with all of these
Hmm.
things, and the more that you can stay centered and grounded and pick one thing that you want to be really
Hmm.
good at. Or when you get to the point, hire someone. Let them,
Hmm.
that's what I do. Like, let them handle the social media aspect of
Oh,
it. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The things that you don't want to do or not good at or just resist, right? Yeah. Find
Yes.
somebody who, by the way, probably likes it and is good at it, right?
Yeah.
It takes that guilt off you. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have one other thing in common. I don't know if you knew this about me, but I'm a speech language pathologist, and my business worked with young kids with disabilities, many of whom are on the autism spectrum. So you mentioned your 33-year-old son with autism,
Yeah.
and I know you do programs for special needs in that community.
Yeah.
So talk to us about that because that's a cool area where our lives overlap a little bit.
Oh my gosh. So Craig is now 34. When he
Hmm.
was in school from 3 to 22,
Hmm.
we had a 501c3. It was called Parents Assisting Special Educators.
Yeah.
And
And
we,
what state did he go to school in?
New
Just for my
Hampshire.
own. Oh, New
New
Hampshire.
Hampshire.
Okay. Yeah.
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 So we raised money and we had the teachers, the speech and language pathologists, the OTs, the PTs, the paras would request products, services to go to an event, whatever they needed. One of the biggest things back then was like Velcro to make their board maker things. Remember?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. I
you're
remember.
back then. Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
So, and we would just go buy it and deliver it to the school. And it was a PTO for special needs classrooms in
Mm.
southern New Hampshire, and it was great. Then he transitioned out of high school. He went into the adult world,
Hmm.
and Neil connected with the woman who was president of Nashua Community College, and they
Neil is your husband?
yes,
Yeah. Okay.
yes, and also one of the Health and Human Services agency here, and they donated a classroom for special needs adults in the college, and it was the first of its kind, and that was back in, oh my gosh, that was 10 years ago. So the kids can go in there. If they wanted to attend a course, they could, or they do their own work, but it makes them feel like they're part of something, like they're part of a school and doing cool things. And
Mm-hmm.
now 2 years ago, no, Craig's 3 years ago, we discovered this program called Spelling to Communicate.
Hmm.
And I'm doing a lot of advocating about that and teaching people about it and spreading the word about it. So Craig uses a board about this big. It's a laminated board with the alphabet on it.
Yeah.
And he uses his finger and he touches the words, touches the letters to spell words to
Mm.
communicate to us. And now we realize how smart he is. He knows
Hmm.
all his family, everyone's names, where everyone lives. Like he's not able to speak it, but it's in here. So
Right.
because his mouth can't listen to his motor cortex, so his motor cortex is telling his mouth what to do, but he
Hmm.
has praxia, so you cannot.
Yeah.
And this method of spelling to communicate helps him have robust conversation. He's told me all of his goals and objectives of what he wants
Wow.
to accomplish. He's very spiritual. I said,
Mm.
I asked him one day how he knew so much about love. And he spelled out, I learned it from Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Very tapped in spiritually.
Hmm.
Church. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
he never went in a regular ed class, math, anything. And he
Hmm.
knows algebra. He knows a lot, and it's just it's beautiful. Yeah, we love it.
Yeah. Wow. Thanks for sharing that.
Sure.
Appreciate it. Yeah. So if people are interested in learning more about you and your work and what you do, where can they find you?
Positiveactivity.net.
Hmm.
And I'm on Instagram, Lori A. Rogers, Positive Activity. But on our website is all of our links to our, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. And there's also a little tab there called free downloads. And you can download what I described as some of the activities that I do. There's a download there listing them and why I do them and how they can help you. There's a toolkit there, a couple other little cool downloads to get someone interested and learn about it. Yeah. If
Amazing.
you didn't write it all down.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us today, Lori. I really
Sure.
appreciate it.
I loved it. Thanks, John.